Hey everyone, it's Fit Fat Man Charles Gainey, and today I have my big brother here to make some empanadas. As you can see, this man is also fit fat. He taught me the fit fat nature. He also cooks. That's why I brought him here to make some empanadas. How about you tell the people why you make empanadas and why it's your go-to dish?
So kind of the reason why it started is my wife is actually born in Colombia and she loves Latin food, and there's a restaurant here in Chicago that we go to that has the best empanadas, and you know, she actually studied abroad in South America and she used to eat them a lot, so since I like to cook, I like to cook for her, and I also like to cook for my little girls.
And they're delicious.
Thank you. So I like to cook for them, so I figured why not learn how to cook it. So I found an empanada cookbook. You know, empanadas are kind of like a Latin American, lack of a better term, a hot pocket. Just, you know, some dough, you stuff some stuff in there, you bake them or fry them, and they're just a lot of goodness. So
they're much better than a hot pocket.
Yes, they are much better than a hot pocket. So that's kind of how I started
awesome.
doing it.
That's great. Yeah. As always, if you guys are enjoying my channel, please subscribe, like this video if you enjoy the empanadas, comment, tell us how you like it. Tell me how you like the big brother, how he performed. Since he is my first guest today, let us know how he did. Without further ado, let's cook some empanadas.
If you're gonna be a fit fat man, you better know what to eat.
So tell us what the ingredients are for the empanadas and for the chimichurri.
Okay, so we have a couple of different things that we're going to do. We're going to make corn and onion cheese empanadas. So for the filling, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take about a cup of sweet corn. We're going to put it in a pan, chop up one medium onion, put a little salt and pepper in there, and then throw about a half a cup of cheese in there. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to chill it in the refrigerator. While that's chilling, we're going to make the dough. So for the dough, what we'll do, we'll take about 8.5 cups of flour, about 3.5 cups of warm water, and then about a half a cup of Crisco, half a cup to a cup. Mix it all together, knead it, roll it into a ball like you're kneading regular bread dough, and then you let that sit for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So awesome. And then while we're waiting on that, the chimichurri sauce is just a knife-cut garlic and parsley sauce. You take up one medium onion, a couple cloves of garlic, and about a half a cup of parsley, and some olive oil drizzled in there. You chop it up real nice, and it goes really well with the empanadas.
Awesome. Okay, brother, so how do we get started?
All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create the fillings. So the first thing we need to do is chop up one medium onion, then get it in a pan and sweat it out a little bit, mix it around, then dump in your cup of corn, mix those around, get it heated up, a little salt and pepper. Then you want to add a pinch of sugar to the mix. Then you want to measure out your cheese and your cream, dump the hot mixture in a bowl, and then you want to dump in your cream and your cheese and mix those together real nice. Add a little extra cheese to be generous. After you mix it up, you want to stick it in the fridge for about a half hour to cool.
Please tell me it's time to make the dough.
It's time to make the dough. So kind of what we want to do with that is you want to take about 8.5 cups of flour and then mix it with about 2 teaspoons of table salt or sea salt. You mix those together, then you create a little reservoir in the bowl, and then you put about 3/4 of a cup of Crisco. You can use other kinds of lard as well, but we use Crisco because we're trying to be fit. And then the recipe actually calls for 2 cups of warm water. You kind of got to play with it a little bit because 2 cups, it would still be, the consistency wouldn't be very good. So the more, you got to kind of watch it, but the more water you add, you kind of want to have it be the consistency of like a pizza dough.
Yeah.
And then once it gets that consistency, you want to leave it in the bowl, put a few wet paper towels over it, and let it sit for like 10 minutes just so it rises.
Awesome.
Again, what you want to do is play with the water, make sure a little bit, and knead it until it gets a consistency that you're actually comfortable with. So once the dough is risen and the filling's cool, you want to rip off a little circle of the dough, roll it up even, then place it in a tortilla press with a plastic bag, and then press it out so it flattens out nice and good. Once you get it nice and flat, you take it out of the plastic bag, and then you put a couple spoonfuls of the filling, and you fold it up and then pinch off the edges. Do a little roll, and you'll be good to go. Once you get all your empanadas filled, you want to place them on a pan and then baste them with egg wash, which is 1 egg and a tablespoon of water beaten real fine. Then you pop them in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes at 450 degrees.
As always, you know, if something's in the oven, we gotta dance. And that's no exception for this guest. Oh, sorry.
So once they're done cooking, you want to take them out of the oven when they're nice and golden brown. And if you have a cooling rack, you can place them on the cooling rack for about 10 minutes just to cool down a little bit so you don't burn yourself.
And now I think my favorite part, the chimichurri. I said that right?
You said it right. You said it right.
Finally.
Chimichurri.
Okay, tell me about how we put this together.
All right, so kind of what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some parsley, you're gonna chop it up real fine, about a cup worth of parsley, then you take an onion, and you want maybe a little less than half, about a 1/3 cup of onion. You mix that together, you throw in about half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. If you're feeling saucy, you can throw a little bit of pepper flake in there if you want a little kick to it.
I like that.
Then you can use vinegar. You want to do about a tablespoon and a half of vinegar. Usually you use red wine vinegar. You can, if you don't have that, if you have regular white vinegar, that works too. And then you round it off with about a half a cup olive oil. You stir it around, and then you're in business.
I like that. That sounds good. Now, how does this work? Do you dip the empanada? Do you spoon the chimichurri on top of the empanada? How does that work?
No rules here, so you eat it how you want to eat it. I know, if you want to be neat, you just want to put it in there. You can, before you dig into the empanada, you can spoon a little bit on top of it. But what I like to do is I take a bite of it, get it open up, and then put a little chimichurri in there with the filling and mix it in. It's really good.
But don't double dip. We do not promote double dipping here at Fit Fat Man.
No, absolutely. Double dipping is a sin.
That was delicious. The consistency of the filling with the bread, and then once you got in the middle of it, it was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you get the corn's a little sweet, so you get a little sweetness. You got a little, and then you get kind of the tanginess of the cheese. It's melty, and it mixes together really well with the bread dough.
We didn't do the pepper flakes this time, but next time I'm gonna have to try that. Maybe like add a little sriracha on the end.
You can give it a whirl. Hey, it's you gotta go with it. Like I said, if you're feeling saucy,
Awesome. Hope you guys liked this episode. I know the empanadas you're going to like because they were beautiful. I was very happy to have my brother on here as the first guest. If you liked this video, please like, comment, tell us how good looking we are, and subscribe as always. Let this be an example to you guys to cook with your family, love your family. That's the Fit Fat way. I appreciate you guys coming, but as always, Fit Fat Man out.
If you're gonna be a fit fat man, you better know what to eat. If you're gonna be a fit fat man, you better get